Hi everybody, it's Kara, aka the Principal Painter, and today I'm coming at you with the big bling theory. Sheldon, Penny, Leonard, the whole cast of The Big Bang Theory could not be with us today. They sadly were busy. However, I hope that you get something out of this video when it comes to blinging canvases. I am currently working on a canvas. I'm working on Away From It All by Ivy Dolamore, presented by Diamond Art Club. I love it. I love the canvas, but the blinging has been a little bit of a challenge. And I had planned a couple of videos for this week. And today, while I was sitting doing my plan and blinging and all that, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna push my video schedule to the side and do this video because I call this kind of just-in-time teaching. If I'm in the middle of something that I feel like might help somebody else, I'd rather go through it and show you what I'm doing. You can suffer with me. Doesn't that sound fun? Just kidding. But you know, as I'm going through it, I can share things with you that I've learned that hopefully will be helpful. If you are new to the channel, hi, welcome. If you like all things diamond painting, if you like tutorial videos like this one is going to be unboxings, I go live on Monday evenings, then I hope that you'll consider subscribing. It's free to do and it really supports the channel. And join the painter household where the door is always open and everyone's always welcome. At this time, we're going to head to the painter dining room table and I will show you what all I've got. See you there. And we are back at the painter dining room table. Okay, as you can see, I have a lot of stuff around me and I'll be pulling things in and taking things away. I will link all of the items that I talk about in the description box, so you don't have to take notes, what have you. And I have a lot of information to give you as well. So any information that I share on items that I use, I will link in the description box. Okay, so this is Away From It All. This is a picture of the entire image. It is an Ivy Dolamore. I started this for Michaela, Renee, Messy Girl Crafts, and Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend event, the Ivy Dolamore event, and I love it. I haven't gotten, I'm like a fourth of the, or maybe a third of the way done, but it's taken me a little bit longer because I did want to bling some things. And I did not get the DP with sparklers. I'm going to be talking about DP with sparklers a lot. They are the only enhancement drills I use. You guys know this. Once I get something that I like, I don't vary from it at all. So I use DP with sparklers. And you know, that's who I call. That's who, you know, has me. And I always say they'll fix you right up. They will. But I'm doing this on my own. Blinging a canvas, whether you have a plan from DP with sparklers or you do it yourself or you just try something different, what have you, that's what puts the art in this craft. And before I go very much further, I want to say this. As always, in all of my tutorial videos, I say, and I say it very emphatically because I need people to hear me, this is how I do it. You do not have to feel like you have to do it exactly the way that I do. You do it the way that you want to. The reason why I share these tutorial videos is, you know, if I can help somebody, you can take 2 ideas, you can take 5, you can take all 10, and please feel free to use them. You can, you know, you may know every single one of the suggestions I'm about to give you. But I don't know if you're like me. Sometimes hearing it from another perspective is helpful and it reminds me of things. You know, I knew it, but I wasn't doing it. And so sometimes having people remind me of things is helpful. So take whatever you would like to from this video, trash whatever you want to trash. That's totally fine. You will not hurt my feelings. So that being said, so what I'm going to do in this big bling theory video is we're going to go over 10 things that I do in order to effectively bling my canvases. Now, I have been blinging for a little bit. I'm still not an expert. I take every class at every retreat I can of Cheryl's. I listen to friends. I have friends that are amazing blingers. Rochelle, Bling It Up is amazing. Sue Bell is amazing at blinging. Alyssa, the diamond painting accountant, is amazing at blinging. I'm like a sponge. I take all of their ideas and take them in. And I still play around. And that's the key to this, guys, is play around with it. I've got some things, like you can see, I've blinged the heck out of this little vase in the corner. There's some things on it that I don't know that I like, okay? One of those things is, you can see this green right here, that is charted by Diamond Art Club. And in the original art, there is some green in this, but it is primarily blue. So I'm bothered by this green. And once I kind of take you through some things, I'm going to let you help me with this because I need your advice. You guys are the smartest people I know when it comes to diamond painting, and you give me ideas all the time. Like I said, my brain is a sponge soaking up information that I can get. So I don't think I like this green as charted. In addition, I have blinged up most of this vase. Also, this vase, and there are some other things on the left-hand side of this girl that are really in the background, but I wanted to bling these things up. This looked kind of like a Moroccan glass type vase. And if you look at Moroccan glass, it reflects all different colors. So I understand where the green is coming from as far as, you know, light reflecting and the glass being multiple colors. I just think it looks kind of rando in the middle of this vase. So I want something that maybe is green, but a little bit closer and blends into the blue a little bit better, okay? So that's one thing I'm looking at. Also, when I look at this, I'm looking at different types of bling. Like I can really make this super sparkly and, you know, it has to still blend into the background, but I can make it where it looks like that Moroccan glass effect. That's what you want. You want things in diamond paintings that you're blinging up to look as realistic as possible. Now, I was gonna bling this whole thing up, just absolutely bling it up. However, if you look at this original art with all of this magic swirling around her, and the swirls are really absolutely front and center besides her in this painting. If I were to bling all of this up, I would over bling and it would overwhelm it. It would just, it is possible to over bling. It is. And you don't get the effect that you want. You want bling to be an extra punch in your paintings. You don't want it to be completely overwhelming to where people don't even know where to look in the painting. In addition, she is holding an artist palette. I was gonna bling the crud out of this artist palette. Well, guess what? I put crystals in here, and this is what I mean too. You can pull stuff off if you don't like it, and I definitely did that in this artist palette. I wanted a different kind of shine, because when you think about paint, when you put paint and squeeze paint out of a tube onto a palette, it's shiny, but it's not shimmery, it's not glittery, it's not glittery, so it's a different type of shine. They also, DAC has already charted ABs into this, which gives it a great effect. So I really pared down, once I started thinking about it, the bling that I put in this palette. I did put some fairy dust, or pixie dust, excuse me, in this. And I have a couple of other things, but it's going to be more subtle. You want the paint to look glossy and shiny. It's a different type of shine. So you got to think about all that. So, but before we really get into this and I really start talking about nuts and bolts of the canvas, I want to talk to you about storage. I have some storage to share with you. It is from Art Dot. Now, y'all, the stuff I'm sharing, like I said, is mine. I am not getting a kickback from it, but this is what I use and this is what works for me. So hopefully it will be helpful to some people. If it's not, God love you. Thank you for sticking with me. But what we're gonna do now is, and when we come back, is I will have my storage system from Art Dot here, and we'll go over how I label and store my bling to where I can find it easily when I'm making decisions on blinging a canvas. So hang on. All right. These are my Art Dot containers. I have shared these before, but they really work well for me. These actually stack one on top of the other, so I've got 4 drawers stacked up, but for the sake of the camera and so you can see it a little bit more easily, I unstacked them. So there are 4 drawers. I have 2 sets of 4 drawers. One is for my squares, so this diamond painting is a square. So this is where I'm gonna be looking in my craft room. I also have another 4 set of drawers for rounds, okay? 3 of the drawers have all of my square sparklers in them, and then the bottom drawer you can see is for special drills. These are your quad cubes. These are other special drills that I have picked up. I think these are primarily, yeah, these are all quad cubes in a variety of colors. And I'm not going to use any type of what I call the bigger special drills in this one. I'm just looking to bling with your regular standard sparklers. So find a way to organize your sparklers. Also, at the top of these Art Dot storage systems, I have bags of, this is how DP with Sparklers comes to you. They come to you in these Ziploc bags. They're labeled very nicely. Up at the top, what I have here are extra drills that wouldn't fit into my containers. And also over here, like I purchased these a little while ago. These are over to the right are sparklers that I still have to catalog and put into my containers. So these are sparklers for squares in bamboo. So what I would do is when I'm ready to put these into my drawers, I find and empty. These are round containers with screw off lids. Love this. What I normally do is these labels come off very easily, and if they don't, I'll just use a label maker. I will, when I can do it, which is 90% of the time, I will peel this label off, put it on the side of the bottle. Don't put anything on the top. And the reason why is you can see the tops of your sparklers from the top of the container. So you want this on the side of the container, number one, because it fits better. But if you're gonna do any labeling yourself, word of recommendation, don't put it on the top of these, especially these containers, because again, you wanna be able to see the tops of those sparklers. See, when I pull out my drawers, and I'm gonna hold it up, can they see? Okay. You can see all of the colors. So if I'm looking for blue sparklers, I can quickly from the tops of these spot my blue sparklers or my purples or my whites, what have you, okay? So that is the reason why I just put my labels on the side, all right? In addition, so these stay up here until I get ready to put them in my containers, and I have several to do. As you can see, I'm falling behind, so I need to get those quickly labeled and put in the drawer so I can start using them. Because when they're like this, I mean, again, you're more than welcome to leave them in the Ziploc bags. I just found it cumbersome to go through every single one, especially if you've got a ton of them stacked up like this. You can't see what's in the bags. You're having to go through and go, oh, what's this? I don't know. So I just found these containers work a whole lot better, okay? You know, you can use Elizabeth Ward, you can use the DAC storage system, whatever works for you. Again, that's what diamond painting is all about, making it work for you. But if you're gonna use these, I highly recommend just labeling them from the side. Another thing, when you go, so when I get ready to bling a canvas and I think I've got a plan, I know what I want to do, I know what areas that I want to bling, and you have to decide that. I always say this, go with where light naturally hits, okay? If light's going to naturally hit it, that's a great place. Stars in the sky, water's great, highlights in hair is great. But if you've got a light source, look where the light hits the item on your canvas. That's where you might want to add a little bit of an emphasis, okay? So when you go to match your colors, what I do is I pull my colors, and this is just an example of 3 colors that I did pull. And I pulled these 3. These are actually from the art palette that she is holding, okay? And I have some ideas. So what I do is I pull all of my regular drills that I want to replace, okay? And I go into my craft room, and I know I'm working with squares. I will pull every one of these drawers out and start matching. Now, I also bring my key with me because that gives me my DMC numbers. Now, if you can be matchy-matchy with your DMC numbers, go for it. Do you have to be matchy-matchy with your DMC numbers? Absolutely not. I have completely replaced with different colors that I liked even better. So that's up to you, and that's the beauty of blinging. So that's the reason why I love these drawers, because all I have to do is I pull all of these drawers out. They come out and go back in super easily. I lay them all down on my craft table, and I start looking. Okay, here's 52. All right, don't see anything in here, but I may see something in here. All right, here's a metallic. This metallic may work for this, okay, kind of close, I don't know. So what I do is, even if it's a maybe, I keep it out, and then I make the decision at the end on what I'm gonna use and not use, okay? Now, I'm going to move this back over. So once I've done that, you've pulled your sparklers. It's important now, because you've got places that you want to enhance. I don't know how your brain works, but my brain works, if I go to pull it and it's not there, bam, I am alerted immediately that something else needs to happen. It's not there, okay? What I do is I pull the drill, like here's 15, or here, let me get it. Here's 14. And here is the drill. It's a glitter drill that I pulled for that, okay? And I keep them together. Now, how do I keep them together? I have several suggestions for you on keeping them together. The first thing is bag holders. This bag holder I've had for a long time. It's from Art de Nicole. You can put bags in it. You know, it's like your bag storage. I can put drills in it too. So this has multiple uses. So if you've got one of these, it's not just for bags anymore. You can put your drills in it side by side. So I'll put 52 and the sparkler I'm going to use here, and I put them all in numerical order. Okay, so that's one way. Next, here we go. We have got a dazzle deck. Dazzle decks come from DP with sparklers. Now this is round. These are square, okay? So depending on also the storage that you're using for your regular drills, or the drills that came with the kit, is what's gonna determine which of these you are going to use. So if you have round containers, you can simply take your round drill, like if this was round, I could put it here and then put the sparkler right by it, so I know those two go together and on down the row, okay? That's one way. And I know DP with sparklers does have dazzle decks for square containers as well, okay? Another option is if you want them flat, if you don't want them, you know, if you don't want them out, Carissa's Craft Corner has these trays. I use these trays a lot. I've used them a lot for my owl project. And once again, you see it's in a row of 4, so you can put a regular drill and a special drill side by side and know which two go together. They're in pairs. They're at a dance, right? They're in couples. Okay, so you can leave them in their couples this way. But I also have squares. Once again, they're in 4s, so you can put this in, and then if your sparklers are in square containers, you can use that. Cara, I don't have that. I don't have a Art de Nicole tray. I have Elizabeth Ward containers. I have Diamond Art Club containers. I have Harbor Freight containers. Whatever containers I have, what do? Well, if you don't want to go purchase, I have a cheap way to counteract that. Remember these? You should, if you have purchased anything from Diamond Art Club. These are the shelves that the paintings come in. I got a painting from Amazon and I kept the shelf. And look at this. All of your drills and your sparklers line up in this shelf so perfectly. Now, I will say this. The new shelves, when the shelves were new and they were super high, those do not work. They're not low enough because you can't, it's too high to see and it is cumbersome. This works, okay? So if you have a smaller diamond painting, or even if you don't have a smaller diamond painting, you can line your drills up with their partners and you've got them in here. So no matter what shape your storage comes in, you've got a solution to pair these up. So all of these are the numbers that I have pulled of my regular drills from what I kitted up, and then beside them are the sparklers that I have paired them with, okay? So I know that 14 is gonna be paired with glitter 3835, okay? So that's how I'm using it today, because my kit up drills are in square containers, and my sparklers are always going to be in round containers because that's my storage. So I need to use something like this, okay? Now, regular drills, put them out. Okay, one thing that I need to share with you also, when you get ready to use your sparklers on an area, let's say, this is number 40. Number 40, as charted, is 818, DMC code 818. I'm replacing DMC code 818 with sparklers for squares. This is AB Glow Glass Morganite, okay? And these are round, so sparklers for squares are smaller because the diameter of square grids are smaller. So you can use round sparklers on a square kit, I promise. I flipped out the first time I did it too, but it works great. So I'm gonna replace this with this. So I'm gonna pull this out of this box. I'm gonna put the box to the side. I'm going to leave this out because these two go together. However, in order to avoid disaster, which I've had several disasters doing this, and I'm sure those of you that have done replacing have as well. In order to avoid pouring your sparklers back into your regular drills, I don't know how many times I have done this, okay? I've got a solution for that too, so hang on. I pull this out, I'm gonna use these. I take this and I put it out of arm's length. I put this container down on my canvas and I'm ready to go. That way, when I go to pour my drills back into the container, the only container within hand's reach is this one, or else I've done it so many times, poured my sparklers into my regular drills, and then you have a mixed up mess. But don't scream if you do that, okay? Done it many times. You've got a couple of options when it comes to that, okay? So if you by chance pour your sparklers back into your regular drills, I always tell people tweezers and patience, tweezers and patience. There's another way as well. You pour your mixed up drills into your tray, okay? And then I take my tweezers. Normally I take the bottom of my tweezers because it slides more easily on the grooves, especially if you have pointy stabby ones. It kind of sticks a little bit. I don't know. I just like this better and it moves more drills more easily. So I just take the bottom of my tweezers and I slide my regular drills up. Once I get a bunch of regular drills, I put them back into the container. Once I get my sparklers, put them back into this container. You have to pay attention though, because I don't know how many times I've been separating them and I've almost put my sparklers back in the regular drills. I have no idea why my brain works this way. It just does. So again, when you're replacing, put your regular drills out of arm's reach, but have it out of the box so you know which to pair together, and then you avoid this. Now, if you're in a hurry, I have been known to leave the mixed up drills in my regular drill container and pour my regular drills in the tray, or pour my drills into the tray mixed up. And if I need regular drills, I'm picking them out, putting the regular drills down. If I need my special drills, I'm picking them out, putting the special drills down. You can do that. You can go back and forth. Normally you just will need tweezers and patience to separate out the drills. So don't do what I've done. Just make sure that the drills that you are not, and vice versa too. I'm gonna use this regular drill in some spots on this canvas. So if that happens, the opposite happens. I take my sparklers, put them out of arm's reach. I'm using these, okay? So that's that. But I have had so many disasters with that. Just avoid screaming, screaming at the tops of your lungs, and just, you're gonna have to separate them. Okay, also, when you are blinging, it is really important. I have my painting on a light pad right now, okay? And I can see gaps, it drives me nuts. What you need to do, not only do you need to turn off your light pad to see if you like what the results of your bling are. This is from Cheryl Gerhards, who works with DP with sparklers. You need to hold this painting up vertically, because looking at it overhead and looking at it on a wall are two completely different animals, okay? Is that good?
It's too high.
Okay, I'm just trying to tell them to have it vertically. Can they see it now? Okay, so anyhow, just make sure you're looking at it vertically. And this is how I know I don't like this green, because I'm looking at this vertically and the green just sticks out to me. I don't like it. I need to do something with that particular green. So if you hold it up, you're looking at it on the light pad, you're looking at it laying down, you're looking at it vertically, and you still don't like it, and it's okay. You just pick these off and you're gonna replace them, okay? And I have a thought on what I'm gonna replace that with. Okay, so that is that. Again, avoid over blinging. When we start blinging, we have a tendency to just want to just absolutely go to town. Less is not particularly more, but you have to look at what you are doing in the painting. There is so much of this swirling thing that if I blinged all of that up, it would overtake the painting. Also, know the paintings that it's appropriate to bling and not to bling, and that's according to your taste, okay? I do not bling landscapes, and I do not bling vintage pieces. If it looks like it's vintage, if it looks like it's back from the day, I normally don't bling it. And landscapes, most of the time Diamond Art Club and other companies will chart some ABs. I just go with as charted, all right? So again, just avoid that over bling, and send pictures to people. Ask your friends. They're good people to ask, and they'll tell you. They will tell you whether it's a lot or what what their opinion is. And again, you can take it or you can trash it, whatever you want to do. But if you're not sure, always ask. All right. Also, I found this out the hard way too. If you're gonna frame your piece, if you're gonna frame a painting, you're gonna lose the first 2 rows of this painting to a mat or a frame. Do not waste your sparklers on the first 2 rows all the way around the perimeter of the diamond painting. If you're not gonna frame it, you're all good. But I have wasted a lot of sparklers through framing because, again, they're going to put a mat on it and a frame on it, and you will lose these first 2 rows. So as we're spending money for sparklers, we want people to see them and not waste money on them just for them to be hidden. So the first 2 rows, if you're going to frame a painting, just know you're going to lose them due to the mat and the frame. So just use regular drills on those first 2 rows and don't waste your sparklers. I found that out the hard way. Okay, so the last thing is you can replace special drills with special drills, okay? So in the back of my little box, I have all of my drills and my sparklers lined up side by side. In the back, I have this pixie dust. This was a last minute switch on this artist's palette. I had crystals, but I decided to use the pixie dust 666, and one of the colors I was replacing with 666, so it was a perfect match. no problem, okay? But I also have original sparklers. And when you've worked with sparklers long enough, you have your favorites. This is probably my all-time favorite sparkler. It's the original sparklers. I have it in rounds and squares and sparklers for squares. I just love this color. So what I am going to do is, you can see on this canvas there are stars. There are, there's a star up above her head, and there are a couple stars down here that you can see. These stars are charted with AB drills, with yellow AB drills. I am going to replace, so again, you can replace special drills with special drills. I don't advise it too much because where DAC has these charted are spectacular. For stars, I love original sparklers. I just do. So I'm going to replace the ABs just in these stars with the original sparklers. Everywhere else Diamond Art Club has charted ABs, I'm going to put them in. Because again, their rendering team is masterful. They know a whole lot more about what they're doing than I do. But you know, it's just, you can do that. Okay. So what I need your opinion on is this green. Okay. I've pretty much decided I'm going to replace this green that's in here. I'm just not a fan of it. It's stark. It looks rando. Like, what is this green? The whole thing's blue, and then you've got this green. So what I did was I went, again, pulled all my drawers. I went and I found, all right, what, I'm trying to think. No, it's a darker green. Hang on, I can tell you what green it is because I looked at it. 25, 25, 25. That's it. Okay. So I have very little of this 25. Good. Okay. That's what originally should be in this vase, and that's what's in it. But I wanted to blend. I get the green effect because in the original art, it is a little bit green, but it's blended better. So what I'm thinking about doing is I found these sparklers. This is 964 crystal. And I'm thinking about replacing those plain green drills with the 964 because they do reflect the green and they bring in the blue. So put your opinions in the comments. What do you think of the plain green here? Do you like it, not like it? Or do you think I need to replace with this crystal? Or maybe just a plain blue drill? You know, I'd like to know, because again, I'm always asking people's opinion on this stuff. Guys, it's art. It is something that everyone's gonna have an opinion on, and that's okay. But that's how we learn and that's how we grow in this craft, is just listening to other people and saying, you know what, I really like that. I'm gonna steal that idea. Or not this time, you know, and everyone can do that. And again, that's how you get better at blinging, and that's how you learn, and that's how you grow. But wanted to bring these kind of tips and tricks to you because I was struggling today with especially the artist palette, knowing that I really wanted to bling it with a lot of crystals, and then I thought, no, that's gonna look terrible. And I did end up putting some crystals down and picking them off. I've done that a lot on this one. But you need to get it the way you want it. You know, this green is bugging me. I probably will do something about that, because if it's bugging you, you know, you put all this time and effort into your paintings, and you know, you want to love it when you get done with it. So take the time, pick them off, and put another color down until you get it the way you want it. And that's, again, that's how you learn, and you know, how you get your paintings the way you love them if you're going to bling. So you know, you can't really mess this up. You really can't, because if you put something down, pull it back up. All right, guys, that's what I've got for you. I hope that you've gotten some things out. So let me review. Make sure you organize your sparklers at least into squares and rounds. Have some sort of a storage system of some type where you can put your drills together that you've pulled, the regular drills and the sparklers. All right. Doesn't need to match perfectly. Again, Make sure that you keep the drill that if you've paired up a special drill with a regular drill, make sure whatever drill you're using, the other partner stays out of the box, but it goes away so you don't see it. So you put your drills back into the correct container. Learn again, hard way. Avoid getting super excited and over blinging, and really look at your original art before you start, and look at what about this grabs your attention immediately. Well, it's the girl and the magic swirly stuff around her, okay? That's what grabs my attention. So that's attention grabbing enough, so you're not gonna have to do a whole ton, and DAC has already charted ABs in this magic swirly stuff around her, for lack of a better term. I don't know what it's called, but anyway, that'll be enough pop where you don't have to worry about that, okay? Remember the 2 bands. Don't waste your sparklers. If you're gonna frame it, don't waste your sparklers on those first 2 bands of drills. All right, let's see. I think that's it. All right, I just kind of wanted to review a little bit, but I hope this gave you some tips and some fun things to think about when you're thinking about blinging a canvas. Again, I wanted to bring this to you because a lot was coming to my mind today when I was working on this one. So hopefully I will get some more done this evening. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd really like your opinion on stuff. And you know, if you have any tips and tricks for blinging, I'd love to hear them as well. All right, guys. Again, I will link all of these items in the comments, obviously, as well as DP with sparklers. All right, I will leave you with this. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. This is the Principal Painter, and I am signing off.